October 14th, 9:41 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice, not Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. We were here in the first portion of the trial. This will take at least 2 parts, maybe 3. We'll have to wait and see about that. And in the previous video, we learned that Ron, who he still claims he's masked to mask, was following blackmail letters and all the things he stole, except for his first one. He says that he planned that first one himself. But it seems that when he went to the office, as he was instructed to, the CEO's office that is, he found Mr. Bullard there already dead. So, we should now have to see what happens next. Hey Nick! What is it? What is it this time? You won't believe how many people are here for the trial. Well, it is a murder case. What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door. Next door? Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Amy's trial today. Detective Amy? They say they're going to try him as mask to mask. Already? That was fast. Boy, I'd love to see the mask to mask trial. I know. By the way, where's Pearls? Oh, she went back to home. She says she can't neglect her training anymore. I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gone into her training lately, huh? Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please, don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. DeLite, good morning. No one likes me. No one would notice me, even if I killed someone. Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec. You don't mean you're the murderer? No. I'm just a poor thief. No, wait. That's not right. A thief can't really be poor. Now, let's see. According to Mr. DeLite, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heists. Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murderer, Nick? It's possible. Today's trial was a race against the clock. Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always. I'm afraid that's not an option. October 14th, 10 a.m., District Court, Quorum Number 6. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron DeLite. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, slow down everyone. Let's begin with your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Ron DeLite is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Ha! Now you need to go get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Wow. The judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. I never drink more than 70 cups of coffee during any given trial. But the first one is always the best. Mr. Trudeau, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron DeLite, has to say for himself. The defendant? Oh, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage to having the defendant testify, but I remember when Ms. Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. DeLite to testify. Ha! You've got your guts, right. Alright then, Mr. Ron DeLite, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No. That's not true. For a moment there I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. DeLite already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making. And once he opens up his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ha! Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? You didn't kill Bullard. Why did you go to KB Security? Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. My visit to KB Security. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. Ha! It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. You never know that from the way he's taking it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. Okay. You used to be a security chief from KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. The security chief? You? And yet, a year ago, you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder. Wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe I should change the subject. What did you do after being fired from KB Security? I spent a lot of time looking for work, but then I decided I wanted to start something myself. Not good. This is going from bad to worse. So I started looking for books, TV, and movies, and learning all I could about masked men. Masked men? So you wanted to try drawing a comic, right? About masked men? No, that's not right. Your Honor, let's move along, shall we? But you asked the question. You're being quite odd today, Mr. Wright. Way to bring this spinning head buzzard saw one notch closer to your neck, Ace Attorney. There wasn't much to do with his testimony, was there? Sounds like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me. Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this. We better be careful. If we don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth. Yeah. Hang on. I'm confused for a second. Okay.
Hold it!
In order you to go there? Wait, in order you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then? Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that. Aha! Why don't you save that most for later, Mr. DeLite? Please don't say any more. Now, what should I do? So what did the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring $50,000. Money, eh? I'm perfectly motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay that money anyway. Oh? Is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. Ha! A muddy skipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Huh? Muddy mud skipper? The blackmail threat didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. Security for until you were gone. Wait. Uh-oh. I was supposed to press that. Okay.
Hold it!
You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. A security chief? You? Wait a minute. I would do this part. Why he was fired. Mr. DeLite, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, the world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, I'll take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money. You needed money? Well, you see, Disney loves to spend it. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary isn't really nearly enough. So I stole data from the company. Come again? KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, you stole some data and sold it. Mr. Bullet found out, and I was fired immediately. What? I wish I had never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to a company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that. He sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. This is a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. Oh man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed and blew up. He's gonna take a jaws of life trip to escape from the clutches of disaster. He fired me for selling company secrets, but Desi doesn't know about that. Okay.
Objection!
Mr. DeLite, what you just said now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Zvarri DeLite, the defendant's wife. Shouldn't that be Mrs. Zvarri DeLite? Not Miss? Whatever. But I... Listen to me. My Desi, she's... Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Go. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. DeLite stole company data to pay for his wife's... Wait. Mr. DeLite stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habits, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. Oh. No. Everything is falling up neatly to place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that. Oh, you'll be sorry. Uh-oh. Well, seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Nick? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Actually, it was 17 minutes for me. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data from his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened to the crime scene at 1 in the morning? Wait, Mr. DeLite? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. At the CEO's office. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit in the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bully was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the head, on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since the enemy turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Ha! No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Okay. If I had been wearing that, I would have been killed. What is that exactly?
Hold it!
That? Could you please clarify what you are referring to? Why, the mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. The mask? Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as the Mask. And then, I descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. It seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's not right. You know how sometimes just things just slip in your mind? Ha! My sixth cup of coffee is starting to up at me coldly. It's staring at me up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. I'd have been killed if I hadn't been wearing my mask-to-mask costume. Okay. Why were you dressed up as mask-to-mask? Why, because I'm mask-to-mask, of course. What are you talking about? Mask-to-mask's trial was being held next door. Ah, yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the mask-to-mask issue. So I thought I should go as him, just to be safe. Oh boy. Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took me a lot longer than I had expected. Took a lot longer? What is he talking about? What do you mean by took a lot longer? Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught in the safe door, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Balloon's body. Oh, what was that? Back up a second. Yes? You were the one that hid the body in the safe? Well, yeah. Inconceivable! Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their duty shorts in the washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean when Mr. DeLite hit the body because he's the murderer? Ha! So you're not as stupid as you look. His metaphor this time was really obscure. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safety business, do you? Well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony. Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm in front is moving over the fair weather judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Hang on. Ah, there it is.
Objection!
Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, a security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once, at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Ron DeLite truly was the murderer, he wouldn't have run as soon as the buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way.
Objection!
Ha! Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea that there were security personnel in the building.
Objection!
Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them.
Objection!
But, as it turns out, the guard never came. That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend. And it wasn't anyone in the vicinity. It was not something Mr. DeLite could have known.
Objection!
Ha! Again. Remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. DeLite didn't even notice the buzzer going off.
Objection!
This buzzer is extremely loud. There was no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is. Conscious? What do you mean by that? Ugh. Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. DeLite said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes. Unconscious? So he fainted? That's why Mr. DeLite didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body. So what are you trying to say? Mr. DeLite was knocked out, and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron DeLite and then pressed the buzzer. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous. Who is this kid? Ron DeLite, who is the one who killed King Bullard.
Objection!
And who pressed the buzzer? It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button. Ah! So King Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright? I need to prove that the real criminal was there at that scene. But how? Can I prove that it wasn't King Bullard who sounded the buzzer? Hang on a second. Give me a second to think about this for a minute. Okay, the answer is I can prove it all right. The defense's opinion is this. Your Honor, this piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. That's the buzzer itself, actually, because it had no fingerprints on it. And if the victim had done it, then his fingerprints would have been on the safe.
Take that!
I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. Hey, come on now. At least give some thought to what you would say before opening your mouth. The fact that there is absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now, I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally, he would have left his fingerprints behind. True.
Objection!
Ron DeLite obviously wiped them off.
Objection!
Well, why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment. He touched the button. He touched that button. I know he did.
Objection!
The defendant, Mr. DeLite, was dressed as mask to mask. And mask to mask always wears gloves. What reason would he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Order, order, order! Ha! It would seem I've been forced to eat crow. I wonder what your blend number crow flavored coffee is. Ew. However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence of all of a sudden? Ha! It looks like you were fresh out of parlor tricks. They're watching you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts. The real culprit killed Mr. Bullet at around 1 a.m. And Mr. DeLite was just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. DeLite and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond? Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well, then. Oh ho, you've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? To call the security guard. The killer knew that if they pressed the button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, although as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned another time. Ha, what a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in, eh? Turn himself in? No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, King Bullet, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron DeLite, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. It's pretty obvious by that silhouette who that person is. Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron DeLite. And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron DeLite for the murder. Order. Ha! It would seem I've been made eat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is? We're going to drag that person in here right now. But, who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. DeLite's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to the KV security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder King Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron DeLite for the murder of King Bullard? There can be only one person. Wait. Look at me.
Take that!
Detective, look at me. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective, look at me. You mean Master Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the courtroom next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of King Bullard. Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the most serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke and me confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as masked and masked. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Masked and Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn and Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask to Mask was Luke Emmy's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. A guilty verdict? As an alibi? Oh. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Emmy's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial after all. If we're going to stop this trial and solve that one, we need to do it now. Of course, that's assuming you have proof that the detective who was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Emmy's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. DeLite would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Ha! I bet it's only good when your life's at the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. DeLite. So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. Ha! So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke at me to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. October 14th, 11:58 a.m. This record court number 2. Court number 5. Whoa. Hee. Well, so Detective at me? Heh. I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, so Detective at me? You were the one who... That's enough. Oh, a different judge here. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant, Luke at me.
Hold it!
Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, so lawyer? Wait, I'm sorry, no voice. Well, so lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom. Who is this hoser, hey? Or is he Canadian? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke at me. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask? That man is not Mask to Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? To be continued. Okay. Well, that was pretty cool. We will see that judge again later on in a different trial. But for now, let's save it. And next time we will pick up where we left off in the second half of the trial. So until then, everyone, hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. Until next time, take care and have a great rest of your day.